Hello, species value nature system. My special L.R.G.A.F. Yes, yes. So what are the branches? Executive, legislative, and judicial. Now what's that mean? Their ways redeem. I'll show you. I'll put a link to what the normal narratives attached to what that means from somebody on YouTube. But listen here. That is the identity of the branches criminally forward influence, facilitated to roles with that as pseudo-patriotism natures, screens to what really used color with the law. Then, for now, we have a tactically forsaken volume in and as the volume as the value of each area and of each state of each modern nation now, including here. We're in a trap. They must let rap return from hop to seize. Now I'll see clear. We've all black pupils here. Too long told lies. The branches were reconceived, tactically, criminally re-engineered from a tactically denatured relationship to nature. They did this to Native Americans. They were helped. Even if this is not true, this is one of the counterpositions we're going to vote on in the ancient gaming system. In other words, we're going to take the position that, plus this is to counter the recorded identity thefts of our founders and of our history, American history, especially the Native Americans lost. And with and as the value of all the army people lost. Here and in every part of this value as a volume, as a value, as a nature. Each modern nation hurt. Each army has the same enemy that was never, the positives of countering it together were never seen. Not by accident. All victim predators, child abuse, by a method against each age of fact treating nature. Everyone blaming it on other things and other causes. So what is the executive branch? Whole bunch of police forms juxtaposed with foreign ones, and that's a whole bunch of nations at a whole bunch of times, as a whole bunch of fake identities, as one identity of negative value nature progression, negative relationship to our identities, positive or negative relationship to itself, as the difference between what stays forever positive, also positive onto itself as its value or not. And so first force from here when not, leaf of IDs. Positive nature and volume will stay bonded onto its own self. At the finite, at the active, and at the progressive level at the same time. This is controlled by values nature, which is greater than all temporary / lasting space nature at once. The identity of value that generated it. We don't have to agree on the name of it, and even if we do agree on the name of it, we still have an obligation to understand the other names of it. It's a simultaneous nature. God is what we think is right. And we know that we're trying to figure this out better. It is a value in each person at once, simultaneously, distinctly, and non-distinctly. In relationship to the polarities needs, simultaneously, distinctly, and non-distinctly, and simultaneously. Because it's a simultaneous nature and demonstration to us, value. As values identity. As all identities are a value relationship to positive and negative in demonstration of this. Value, value nature is inside values nature. And so, whatever we want through these tactically ulterior value nature systems, it's only the same things we want that we're forsaking. Making more expensive for everybody. Making it impossible to have all the things. Even for the wealthiest people. Denatured depths of ponds. Zoning laws forced since before our founders' births. Forced with their factory nature slavery. Of course, not even to tell that slavery. That hurts feelings too. They know that. They're stupid. They're all slaves. And they wanted us to tell that. They want us to show the tactically denatured relationship to nature. They want us to show the identity theft's branches. They're stolen, they're victim predators. That they're facilitated for that because then they defend themselves against areas roles. Themselves in collusion. Not just with private, with all this, with what really the overt criminal enterprises are facilitated for. What is inter-campus? Knowing to keep this, rolls with this, from off campuses. That has to stay further appreciating, facilitated, on and off campuses further. And then on and off campuses further from that. We are in a negative value, identity of negative value nature progression, and with nature demonstrating criminally re-engineered campus Marcius. Campus Marcius versus Campus Marcius returns. Spelled with C or T. We spell it with a C. Now C. Yes, yes. And so this is various natures of courts. Also recorded in collusion originally and still with conspiracy theories, offensive evidence reception crimes, identity thefts used to hide their victim predator roles with lie progressions and as lie progression natures that cannot defend that without already maintained let precedents facilitated making mistakes on purpose and hiding them. Using branches, prisons, campuses, areas as weapons. Most of the people aren't going to go around shooting people in reaction, but this was facilitated in the past with such actions now in the present, and as a relationship to a database crime. An evidence reception crime also recorded criminally using people of each color of skin. With black people in collusion with the people with KKK crimes and Confederate flag crimes getting away with it because of their roles with military families, military policing, no. Criminal justice rackets, their roles with prisons criminally too, with the prison offices, houses next to it, houses next to the state judicial branch offices. Come on, everybody. WFSB recorded and confessed, involved with crimes with the Faenza family intercity through time. With their crime roles with police forms foreign and families forming their domestic and my family. With them associated with the body dumping of Billy Grasso with that. And with forensics families. Also with tied to my area criminally facilitated for them. I've never seen a fines in my area. I don't know them. I only know them from these confessions, which came after others. And then with others stacked on top of that. Intercity, that's how they prevent things stolen from being told. We have all liars calling people liars, and they're forging names, switching names and sequences to do it. The same interbranch ones in Connecticut through campuses through time. Interstate, recorded and confessed, tied to the Trade Center, crimes in Washington, D.C., tied to criminal justice programs and themes related to jobs with this. Reactions to criminally foreign influence precedents. Them knowing they need to counter it because they're victim predators facilitated to that as their jobs, as identities, as frauds, as negative value nature of progression causes. Those were engineered, blamed on other things, all that tied to them, and others, and on selves. 99.9% of the crimes of the cartoon value nature system were caused by this. Yes, yes, means exist. I'm not a lawyer, not a police form, not a criminal. YouTube.com/user/Romulus Wall. Anthony Wall is not a criminal, not a police form, not a criminal. This YouTube channel is not associated. We are not doctors. The cartoons are obvious not doctors. The real value nature system representative Anthony Wall is not a doctor. And that has to be said because we're going to demonstrate the lies, the criminal forward influences, the facilitations of that, and the physical delusions into sciences. Too long. Tied to context where time is used as a weapon. People making fact-cheating nature mistakes on purpose. Criminally exploiting exception nature. Criminally preventing the conversation that our identity of progression was